You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 24th meeting of the LaPorte County Convention and Visitor Bureau Board of Managers. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Been and second by Mike Sykes. Any discussions, questions on the financial report?
I did that when I was in the circuit breaker here. This one item. Are we okay with doing that?
Doing what?
The highlight.
Oh, yeah, it would have been, probably more appropriate to ask me later, but I'll be at a meeting, but since you asked. Yeah, so what the situation here is, Don, is that when both the mayors in our county have their annual galas, they contribute all that money to charity. Okay, well, then that's on the entity. That's why I kind of wonder why you bring it up on TV. But, so you talked to the mayor about that one, but we've been instructed that the mayors handle that through charity, and that's the only thing we can go by, okay, when that happens. So I'm glad you asked, but Angie's, you got her number.
Okay. Thank you for that. Anyone else? With that, I will ask for the vote. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, very good. And with that, we're going to go right into Jack's report this morning, and we have several items to carry forth to our new business, also, or a couple items to our new business. So we'll ask Jack's to be efficient this morning.
Yes, we've put the word out on that. We're a lot of important stuff today. So Chelsea's going to put up for your all edification the schedule for the next couple of meetings. As you know, we have a lot of important stuff coming up. And October, of course, we'll be very likely looking at the offshore contract, the aqua-cross contracts, which have been combined into one. And then you'll get a chance to approve our salary ranges. And probably most importantly, you'll all get a chance to approve the roadmap that we started yesterday, going to finish up today. That'll give us the direction for our 5-year plan. So that's going to be a busy day. Just a heads up, we might move the race contract to the next month, just out of time. It might work out better. So, and then November, the budget, and then any action items that come out of the planning that you guys adopt will be presented for your review at the November meeting. So a couple of real important meetings. I hardly ever open up a discussion without talking about heads and beds or innkeeper's tax. We wouldn't be able to be having the conversations we're having on the agenda today about helping support great events in our communities and everything we do without the collection and the proper spending of that innkeeper's tax. And there's two ways we're going to talk about that today. The last item on the agenda under new business, our accountant's going to talk about how we handle things properly. And I hope everybody pays attention to that. It's very important that these kind of things happen correctly and not incorrectly. Okay, and we take a lot of pride in that. So that's one, and then the other, of course, is being able to do the things for the community, the boat race, the jet skis, the basketball tournament. So I think we're showing again in our revenue, absolutely. The last line will grow as the rest of this year grows, but we're on track to, again, exceed last year in innkeeper's tax, and kudos to the staff. So, moving right along, I think the next thing we want to talk about here quickly is Amy heads up our golf tournament for the offshore races, and it's been very successful every year. We raise thousands of dollars for charity during that golf tournament, and we get a chance to present money back to a nonprofit. And our folks with emergency management out of LaPorte County, or is it LaPorte County or city? City, thank you, yeah. We've had both discussions there. They've been with us every year, helping manage traffic, helping do the support stuff that makes that race happen. They also do that same stuff for many other events that happen downtown Michigan City. All about, fireworks, parade, everything. It's just a great group, and they're all volunteers. So we're going to get a chance. Amy, would you mind doing the presentation of the check and saying a few words, please?
Sure. Well, so much under, I just want to say we had another successful Great Lakes Grand Prix golf outing. Many of you played, and we appreciate that, and supported us in that manner. And again, we're going to donate $2,000 of the proceeds to our Friends of the Michigan City EMA for their continued support and helping make the Great Lakes Grand Prix a huge success every year. So we'll go and get a quick fit.
Thank you, Amy, appreciate that. We're going to get to hear from Amy again in just a second when she talks about heads and beds. And I'm going to, again, I like Amy, just loves it when I steal her thunder. And this is intentional, by the way. So, but please pay attention when she talks about the collection side of what we've done in the last few months. Getting the notice on when we get the money that comes in, between that and the point that it gets in the bank, a lot of things happen. The biggest thing that happens is we have to track who's paying, who's not. Big deal. That's all on us, and it's a big job. We've really had a great run with that, and I think he's going to talk about that in a minute in our report. So I'm just highlighting what you're going to see. So having said that, Director of Marketing, Linda.
Oh, okay, thank you, Jack.
Is he still any good though?
I know better.
No, and first of all, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Angie and team, for having us here at Blue Chip. And today I'm just going to talk about one thing, and we're in visitor guide mode now, so we're working on the 2025 visitor guide. Sales are going on now by the Herald Dispatch with their sales team. And also working from our staff is Chelsea, because Chelsea proofs edits to be sure that we're getting all the information correctly. And then once that's done, we have a process we do in the office as a team. And once we have everything done, then the whole process starts. So we're excited. This year, I think I mentioned to you, we brought on Sarah Group. They're going to do the design and so on for this year's guide. So we're real excited. We've had a lot of meetings talking about some different things that we would like to see happen in 2025. And of course, covering the Great Lakes Grand Prix, we'll have 8 blogs and their different stories. Once again, hitting our county and so on. So everything will go to print probably the first or second week in December. And we should have a finished guide right after New Year. So we're looking forward to that and having the opportunity to present that to you all at our January board meeting. Any questions?
Being the representative from the CB board onto the fair board, it was brought up that, and it's not pointing fingers or anything, but the fair board would really like to have something in the visitor's guide about the fair, because it's the oldest fair in the state of Indiana.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, I know maybe, the Herald Argus might have didn't think about asking them to be in it or whatever.
We are already on top of that, and they have been
Good.
reached out.
Well, I knew you would.
Yes, Mike. So we should, and we'll stay on top of that. Chelsea gets the contracts first, but we've already sent that message about the Ag Association. So We'll do.
Good.
Yep, so
Thank
we'll
you.
take care of that.
You know,
Thank
2
you.
points there. One, we're glad they take their check. Just make sure they sign it properly and we'll take that check, no problem. Appreciate that. And secondly, for anybody's edification, many, many years ago, the CBB got out of the role of sales for the visitors. Our friends at the News Dispatch, Harold Argus, take care of that 100%. They do all the sales, they keep all the money. All we do is take care of content, and their staff are charging that. So just in case anybody's wondering, as soon as we heard that, we said, yeah, sure, they've been calling years ago, so and we really appreciate the communication with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so good deal, Linda, thank you very much. Heads of bed, my favorite topic, Amy.
So as Jack said, our team continues to monitor and ensure that all properties are paying their innkeeper's tax as required by law. And recently, Jack was able to work with one of our delinquent properties, the property owner, to be sure that he paid basically the back taxes. He's going to be facing a lot of penalties and fines and possible property lien, but through this process, he was able to basically convince him to go this route, pay your back taxes, and we recouped thousands of dollars. So kudos to Jack in that process. Again, as he said, we're ahead of last year in our innkeeper's tax, and it was a record year. So we're working hard. We're going to continue this process and hope that next year's or this year's above last year. So I thought that was a big key role in that.
Yeah, right for money.
Increase, Amy, is it additional heads and beds, or is it just finding those partners that had not been paying and they're starting to pay?
Well,
No?
there was just one main delinquent partner. We do have that fluctuation in every year with people somewhat being delinquent. But no, the ADR is up a lot this year, which is the average daily rate. So occupancy is about steady, but the ADR is up a lot of different properties. So I think that's really what's happening here. But we're monitoring that, and we look at that data year over year. Chelsea does graphs for us every month, and we look at that. So yeah, I think we'll have a report again when the year's done, and we can look at the entirety of the year, but that's what we're finding right now.
Amy, it's not exactly the situation where the actual hotel pays the tax. They're just a pass-through, right? The occupants that come there to stay all night, pay the tax, and they just,
Right.
so they've been collecting
And they
it.
don't report it.
They've been collecting it, but they didn't turn it in.
They've got the pass-through part. They've got the pass-through part.
I should have read Amy's notes because she tried to pass the credit on for me. All I did was get the guy and pay him. Okay, I got him to the point where he understood he needed to pay. Amy sat down with him and figured that they owed a lot of money, the kind of money that they wouldn't have been able to pay and then sit down and write a check, because they were still having to pay monthly innkeeper's tax on top of that. So Amy she did a great job working on a payment plan, and they're living up to it, and they've avoided liens and fines and penalties, so everybody's happy, we're all good with that. So, and we haven't had to do too many of those, so that's another, it goes to the fact that we keep up with it all the time. Community relation, Dale has a couple of slides she wants to put up, please.
So I just want to talk briefly about 3 boards that I'm on. The first one is the Center for Creative Solutions, and this past Saturday, we had a historic walk through downtown Michigan City, and we had originally just had one at 1 o'clock, and we got such an overwhelming response that we had to make another one for 10 o'clock. So it was really packed, and everybody had a wonderful time. Matt Kubik was the historian that helped us with that. So it was so popular that we're going to do a historic walk through LaPorte as well, and then we're also going to do another one in Michigan City that just tours the sculptures that are downtown. On this coming Sunday, September 29th, I'm on the committee for Vibrant Michigan City. We're going to have what's called West Fest. It's going to be at the Michigan City Hope Community Center, which is located at 222 McClellan Avenue. we, through Vibrant Michigan City, did a wonderful mural, and we're going to be unveiling that, but we're also going to have a festival there. It's completely free. We're going to have vendors and things for kids to do, so that's at 1 o'clock, so we're inviting you out for that as well. And I'm also on Michigan City Public Library and Friends of Michigan City Public Library as well. And on October 8th, 9th, and 10th, we're going to have a huge book sale at the Bureau from 9 until 3 on those days. And so we're going to invite you to come by, and all of the money, all the proceeds go back to the library. We buy computers and chairs and things like that for the library. That's it.
Thank you, Jill. Great job, thank you. As most of you know, we fund partially fund the event director in LaPorte, Michigan City, and the county, and we've got a couple of updates there. I think Brett's first with LaPorte.
Yes, we just got off, a quick summary, we just got off one of our top events of the year with the LaPorte Sunflower Fair and the night on the Ave, the night preceding. Sunflower Fair drew over 135 to 140 artisan vendors. We had over 20 information vendors, such as like construction companies, window companies, bathroom remodeling, the local non-profits as well. And then we also had over 20 food trucks, drew over 10,000 people. We believe this was our best yet. One thing we'd like to do is thank the sponsors and make these things possible, including Arnett Construction and Roofing, the LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Then on a smaller scale, we also had NIPSCO and LaPorte Urban Enterprise Association help us as well. We have a large volunteer committee that does a lot of work for this event. Basically, it was Friday, September 20th from 6 to 10, and then the Sunflower Fair, the volunteers started showing up at 4:45 in the morning, and we were there until 6 o'clock that afternoon. So, great event, huge turnout, very happy. We had lots of great local media coverage as well, extending all the way to WSBC in South Bend, Mishawaka, over to the WI Times from Yale this morning. So, very happy about that. Coming up, as you can see on the chart, we have 3 big events still of the year. This year, LaPorte Events is going to assist the Small Business Coalition with the Spooktacular. They're going to make it more a late afternoon, evening event. There's going to be live music, trick-or-treating for the kids again is the main focus from 3 to 5 with the downtown businesses, and there will be some live music, vendors, food trucks from 3 to 9 that evening. Saturday, November 30th, will be the Santa Parade downtown. With Santa arriving at the Chalet at the 618 Plaza, the corner of Monroe and Lincoln Way, and the Christmas tree lighting. And then on Saturday, December 14th, we will have the annual cookie walk downtown. And then one thing we always like to mention is for the city of LaPorte, the Holiday of the Pops is kind of the kickoff for most of us for the holiday season. One of the best attended events we have in Civic tradition, and that's going to be that evening. Doors open at 6, starts at 7 o'clock. Then we'll go to Civic Auditorium events. We have lots of things going on. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Mayor's Ball on October 5th. And then then all of our events as we kick in, including that Arena Rock Show on October 19th. And one thing I missed on here was we're bringing back professional wrestling to the Civic on October 4th, the night before. So you can have some steel cage wrestling on October 4th and then some ballroom dancing on October 5th. That's how personal we are at Civic Auditorium.
And the
on Friday, October, yeah, football, that's right. Steel cage wrestling in the Mayor's Ball. October 5th, or 25th, we're going to have a great Taylor Swift tribute lover that's going to be aimed at families. As you can see the list, I'm not going to bore you with everything we do. We're busy, we're happy about it. We think we do a great thing, and we also bring lots of new entertainment and lots of new revenue to the Civic Auditorium in the city of LaPorte. Those things also have a trickle-down effect, like we always talk about tourism. We book hotel rooms for the bands that stay, usually 4 to 5 rooms a night, sometimes for up to 2 nights. Doesn't sound like much in the middle of summer when everybody's busy, but I can tell you Blue Heron Inn loves us in January, February, and March when we're giving them some help. the downtown restaurants. I know the Symphony, Enzo, and Drip always get a flood of reservations before Symphony concerts, Pacific Auditorium, and a lot of our other shows. So we're doing our part, and we're thankful for the support.
Thank you, great work, thank you. Terry, Mr. Sid?
Yeah, I remember. So we just came off our big event, Oktoberfest. As many of you know, Oktoberfest was by far the largest event in Michigan City for so many years. It disappeared. Brought it back a couple years ago, started small. We had 23 art, craft, and merchandise vendors and six food vendors. It's grown this year. We ran 51 bands over 4 days. We were packed pretty much every day. We went from 23 art, craft, and merchandise vendors year one. This year we had 64 art, craft, and merchandise vendors. And we turned away 30 art, craft, and merchandise vendors in the last week because we didn't have room and it was a little bit late to try and get that many more vendors in. Of the 51 bands that we had at Oktoberfest, over 30 of them have already requested a slot for next year's event. And the thing I'm most excited about is we had about 20 bands from the Chicago area try to get in the last couple of weeks.
You don't want to.
So we can pretty much fill up our 51 bands for next year, probably in the next 2 weeks. So Oktoberfest is definitely back. It's getting bigger. It's going to keep getting bigger. Our big problem, just like we have with the Grand Prix, is we're running out of room. We got to figure out how to create some more space. We're currently working on our 2025 schedule. All 8 major events that Eric and I put on will be back next year. Just got to work with the Park Board and the Board of Works to get our schedule set. In addition to that, we'll be adding at least 1 new major event and potentially 2 more events on top of that. So if that happens, I may not be here. So, so our last big event of the year is our Festival of Lights celebration. It will be on Saturday, November 30th. Our big challenge is, as many of you know, the giant Christmas tree in front of the library is no longer there. The tree was dying, so they had to remove it. So I'm looking to start a process to see if we can bring back the Christmas lights all the way down Franklin Street as they were years ago, wrapped around the trees. The challenge with that is we can't leave the lights on every year because of the growth of the trees. So it looks to be somewhere between $50,000 to $75,000 a year to make it happen. So I'm going to scramble right now to try and make that happen. So hopefully we can make it happen for this year. If not, it'll definitely happen next year. So that's about it.
Thank you, Terry, really appreciate that. Joy is not at a conflict today. I think we've got a couple updates up on the screen. Just if you want to take a quick look from her. We can roll the screen in a second, just kind of get a picture. She's been really busy. She's taken a minute to list a couple things for us. Is that the extent of it? Chelsea, was there a couple?
Yeah, that's
Good. We'll leave it up for a second. While everybody's looking, this is going to conclude my report. The most important thing I can leave you with is make sure when the board meeting adjourns shortly, get next door and have lunch. You don't want to miss this place. It's great lunch. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Jack. Exciting things happening. As you know, well, first of all, is there any unfinished business? You're going to be yours with the advisory. You're going to be yours with the advisory.
Yes. She's going to call you.
All right, is there any unfinished business? Okay, we have an exciting event going on thanks to the city of LaPorte in this county. We have the basketball tournament for the top schools in the country come to LaPorte at the Civic, and each year we've been in negotiations with the organizations to do the contract. So the contract has been reviewed, and we had our advisory group established this year to help us from a community standpoint on some of the activities that we're doing. So they've had a chance to meet, and I'd like for Angie, she's the chair. And just for you all that are here for the first time, this is our advisory board. It consists of William Walker, representing the Park Department, Michigan City, Laura Clens, representing community at large from LaPorte, Doug Water from Michigan City, he's been a long-time resident here, and then Andrew Gagan from Blue Chip. And they meet as needed for activities that we're doing. They come to the board meetings, they can see what we're doing, and they meet and they bring us back a community perspective of how we're proceeding with certain things, and they help us with that. So I'm gonna ask Angie just to give us an update on the contract because they've been meeting.
Yes, overall, I think it was unanimous that we support this agreement. Kind of rolling in a little bit of blue chip update, I concur with Brett and Terry, and certainly with the city. The theme here, right, for this retreat is we're busting at the seams for events and having challenges of finding space. Even after I added on here, but not me, but he added on for Fremont Ballroom. You know, it's what we're here for. And the goal here is to find additional space to keep having this going. This is what this proposal for having the LaPorte basketball tournament is doing for January business. We know we got the summer in hand, but trying to find that off season, so certainly on behalf of the advisory board, we support it.
And you be combining, normally you do a blue chip update, was there anything there you would like to add on just blue chip in general?
No, I just definitely, we're busy, thank you, but overall, I think what Amy had said earlier as well, we're the month of September and October of this year. I've been here again 15 years, record group business is what we're expecting. We have 2 conventions starting today, so within the next 5 weeks until October 31st, we're going to be looking at hosting over close to 2,500 room nights and serving over 15,000 people just in the next 5 weeks alone. So record number of people, and similar to what Terry and Brett had discussed. They're not all eating here, they're all going out, you know, going down to the beach and going to LaPorte. All that dinner last night was amazing. So buying gas and doing, you know, staying elsewhere too. So you can't all have it here. So record month in September and October, so thank you.
With that, the actual contract is handled by Jack, so I'm going to let him present the actual contract. He and Laura, by the way, Laura is our wonderful attorney here. She does an outstanding job for our board. Keeps us on track, keeps focused on doing the right things. So with that, Jack.
Well, this was really a no-brainer. We've been working closely with the #1 basketball team in the nation that happens to be right here in our backyard, our friends at Homeland. And we're very lucky there. A few years ago, Mayor Tom decided with his emphasis on sports, and he's always been a field advocate of youth sports, bringing sports into our community, that, you know, we can do better there. Brett was a leader in this discussion. We came together and we started the tournament, as you all know. Couldn't have been more successful. The branding for the county, the city of LaPorte, just off the charts. When you talk ESPN, get that, it's the kind of stuff that stays with us forever, and it's just been great. So, to sum it up, the entities, which is the city of LaPorte, Mulvire, and the CVB, decided that the CVB would actually be a partner in this contract moving forward. It was just a better fit. We've been a huge partner moving into this and been involved at every level, but I don't know if it was Nick or Tom or somebody said, look, maybe Brett even said, look, the CVB probably needs to really get recognized as a partner, and Tom can explain that. So we are asking the board to look at this contract and for your approval today. So with that, we got a little, do we have a little picture of how that tournament's running?
I have a video.
Really? How's that? I used So before the discussion starts, I need to make sure the board understands that this has been approved by our attorney. She spent a lot of time on this with Nick, making sure that it was something that she felt you all could accept and take the responsibility, for a lot of responsibility here. And she should come forward. I want to say a few words, please.
Well, after speaking with Jeff, he did ask for provisional approval, which means if some of the provisions within the contract do vary between the other two partners and don't have any impact on us whatsoever, then they can move forward.
Yeah, and then we do that a lot. You know, you guys give me the authority to sign, and the only reason would be that the other entities, we're the first one approving it. You know, and so somebody's got to be first out of the chute, so we're the first one. If there's a minor change when the Board of Works meets next week, and it doesn't affect us, then Laura's going to tell me to go right ahead and we'll move on.
And just to be clear, there are very few provisions that actually pertain specifically to us.
Yes. So
Three parties are parties.
And that was
Pretty
my, well, I think it's absolutely wonderful. And us leading the way in this, I think that's important for the Bureau to be in first. So
Right?
we're not, no, really to try to help our communities and the good mayors. So I did have one question, and you said this is just our piece of it. I didn't see any financial references in here.
What do you mean?
Whether we are obligated to pay something.
oh yeah, I think if you look under your housing for the teams, lodging and travel, I think it's specified pretty good.
Two, paragraph 2.
And Don, if you're
I'm just generally curious. So what?
well, if you're looking for, sorry, but I can help you out with it, I think. If you're looking for dollars, we can't project that because it's not going to happen in January. So what the process will be, if you guys approve this, then the line item that we present back to you in our budget will have enough dollars in it to support that. Okay, perfect.
And just to be clear, Don, too, every year might be different.
No, I understand. I missed that provision. But I just like to know what we're obligated to do. So
Absolutely, no, I appreciate the question, thank you.
The only thing that Don, we can help you with is last year's numbers or the year before, but actually this year's numbers are going to increase. So you can look, they help you out with, you can look at last year's budget that we spent, and you could probably add another 50,000 onto it, okay? Roughly, maybe a little more, but we'll explain that in the budget.
I think it's a huge event, especially with the national coverage, ESPN. We don't always get that here. You know, just to highlight the city of LaPorte, our whole county really is. I mean, and the region, frankly, this is bigger than just the one event. It gets us out there in a big way.
The presentation from yesterday.
Yeah. So we're still in Tom's thunder now.
No, excuse me.
Mayor Tom is here to talk about this a little bit, so
He loves that, Tom.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and thank you. By the way, the video, please send that to me, because that's great. There was some mistake that, from the high school kids, the one was me dunking over William Walker. I don't know how you got that video tied in, but I apologize. So, I'll tell you what, and this has been a great event, and I'd be remiss if Brian, Pat from Lalamere, none of this happens if it isn't for your leadership to say, hey, we see the true Hoosier gem from Indiana, and to talk about this, to partner with it, and then without the CDB. Jack, you saw it. I remember walking up and down the Civic when we talked about ESPN, and that's kind of the unique thing. People say, how did you get Microsoft? We believe. We believe we can be that community that sets a new standard. And I remember just looking at Jack when we walked up and down. ESPN, yeah, we believe ESPN will come to LaPorte. And the neat thing about that is, it's great that we see high school graduates from the 70s that are in Arizona, California, and New York that look and see the Civic logo and are watching going, boy, we talk about pride, that brings a lot of pride. And then to the point where Brett's mentioning restaurants and so forth, Carmelo Anthony asking, you know, an NBA legend asking, where do I go to dinner? And saying, hey, Enzo's is around the corner. And he will be back again today or this next year, plus all the college coaches that come in and out there. So it is such a special event that puts LaPorte and the region, the county, on the map and to partner with Blue Chip, but especially with the work that CBB does, none of this happens. If it wasn't not only for the financial support, but all the volunteerism that takes place that entire weekend and before to make sure everybody knows about it, we're thankful. And as you see, we have a lot going on. I've already talked to Jack, and I guess the radio's already put it on that there's a chance as we move separately that there might be something for Prancer. So ladies, relax. I can't confirm Sam Elliott going to be here for sure, but we are working on that. But this thing is special. It is truly the top national event in the nation right here in our backyard. So thank you for hopefully your support.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks very much.
Does the gentleman from Loudon want to say?
So before Brian and Matt, I need your help with something, okay? Before you guys say something. This year, do not bring him down to set by me. Okay? Please, okay? Those days are over. You know, once you jump ship, go to Arkansas, Calipari is not there. It'll be ugly if you bring him down there.
We got you, Jack. But no, I appreciate everyone's help to make this event happen. Right? I remember we had the conversation 3 years ago where we all kind of put our heads together at the Civic. And right when you walk in that gym, you have the Hoosiers field, right? So we know what high school basketball in the state of Indiana means to everyone. And Jack said he wants to make this a first-class event. And thanks to the CDB and everyone's help here in the community, we've made it the premier high school basketball event in the country. So best feedback we get is from opposing teams, right? One, they say the gym's loud, right? They don't like playing us at our home gym. But two, they love the support, right? Everything is first class in terms of travel, hotel, amenities, right? Gameplay, gym times with practicing at Michigan City, our spot, sometimes using the YMCA. So you get the full community feel, right? And none of it would be possible without everyone's support here, CVB really being a major sponsor, Miracom and his vision, Brett and the Civic Auditorium to make this thing better each year. So year one was great. We just finished year 3. We expect year 4 to be better and better. But from a Walamir standpoint, we appreciate all your guys' help and support to make this event happen, support of our school community. And we look forward to this being a pillar of high school basketball for the foreseeable future, hopefully until I'm long gone and Brian's calling the shots at school now. So, thank you.
So, Pat, I'm getting ready to, just from all you guys, we can kind of talk about this and do what you want, and I will just close by, Pat was absolutely right. One of the things that we insisted on when these discussions started was that if our name's going to be on this, it's going to be a first-class event, period. Okay, we're not putting our name on anything else, and that was the message from the start. And guess what? It started as a first-class event. It's now a world-class event, okay? And it's going to get better. And one of the reasons it's going to get better, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here a little bit, and we got a good audience. Working with the city of LaPorte and the city of Michigan City, we've been in negotiations with ESPN 1000, and we're very likely going to be promoting this tournament along with some of our other events with ESPN 1000 moving forward. So that's some work where we've started, and hopefully we'll get to that point. So we got a lot of discussions and things to do. So with that, Pat, I'll turn it up to you guys to vote on it, maybe.
Okay, well, the board has had an opportunity to review the contract. So at this point, I will ask for a motion to approve the contract.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract with the stipulation that none of the players go to Purdue or Kentucky.
I'll do our best.
Okay, now, someone else makes a motion. Anybody but
I vote that we just accept the contract as made by our legal team, so. I'll say.
Who say other provisional?
Thank you.
I second yours too.
Okay. Provisional approval. Okay, we'll add that in to the minutes.
Failed for lack of a second.
No, that's added. Yeah, Mike.
No, Julie didn't make it off the ground.
Right. Okay, so officially we have A motion by Don Babcock and second by Adam Knizny to give provisional approval to the contract as presented. With that, I'll ask for any other discussion, questions. Hearing none. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we look forward to some great actions.
I think they said you have a phone call way out there, so.
You know, and I don't know if the board, anybody wants to make a comment if you've had an opportunity to go to the tournament, you know, it is really awesome. And I think having, like you say, right here in our backyard just makes it that more important to all of us here. It adds to, as we were talking about yesterday, our economy. And tourism and events like this, driving tourism, drives the economy. And I'm sure we all know that that is definitely one of the things we want to have as a quality component for our community. So thank you guys for doing this and all the hard work you put in. I know the CBD staff works hard because I'm out here. I'm a basketball fanatic from way back. I was a cheerleader. So to me, this just hits right in my heart. So
It is really something to really be proud of.
yes,
I mean, it's,
absolutely.
I'm not a native of LaPorte, but it's
We
really
got
something.
that.
It's really something to be proud of.
Thank you for all your support.
Okay, and with that, we'll move into our. This is last, but certainly not least. We say the best to last.
Least exciting.
We have with us Jason from Applegate with us today. He's going to present our audit. And this is one of the things, if you remember yesterday when Josiah was talking about, you know, the audit procedure actually kind of helps clarify your organization's efficiencies. And so we have this done by Applegate each year. And we've had, I'm not gonna steal your thunder, but we've had very good results every year, outstanding results, and I'm proud of the staff and everything that Gail does to work with Applegate to make sure they have everything they need, and we've been able to just really get these things done very well. So with that,
She just stole my thunder.
Amy told me what to say.
Yeah, we talk, but I obviously this is near and dear to my heart because Gail and I are prior with her, the CFO, and in my position to make sure that we have accountability here and that we're financially solid. And I think you're going to hear a lot about that from Jason. But Jason's been with us since 2006, and he's taught us a lot. He's helped us understand how to do things properly. And when you manage a budget the size of ours, to go through from 2006 to where we're at today and not have one glitch of any kind, okay, not one. Think of all the receipts that come through. Think of all the expenditures that happen. Not one has happened. And then one, because they helped teach us, but two, that's intentional on our part, of course. We can't represent the county and have issues like that clouding things up, okay? Issues like money not being spent correctly. We don't do that, okay? That doesn't happen here, okay, period. So with that, Jason, we really appreciate your help and your work, and we're ready to hear what you got to say right now.
Appreciate your kind words, and as you said, the Bureau has really operated as a well-oiled machine financially for many years. It's been a pleasure working with all of you guys.
Jason.
A little louder?
Yes.
Sorry about that. The report itself is pretty boring, so I'm going to go through that briefly. That's a good thing in my world, because there's really nothing to say other than to kind of briefly talk about what changed from year to year. Our audit report, which starts on page 1 of what I handed out, is a clean opinion, just like every year, as far as I can remember. You guys really don't have anything to find. We have public entries every year for depreciation and fixed asset reclassification. That's pretty normal across the board for most entities. We never really find anything that's not supported well with documentation. Everything has approvals in place that we're looking for.
it's just really well thought out. And working with Gail and AFS as a team, I think really gets everything accounted for properly. Touching on the numbers then, on your income statement, as Jack was talking about earlier, Amy, just under stolen, innkeeper's tax and gaming tax have gone up almost every year that I can remember. And part of that is, like Amy said, because of just inflation, the prices per night per room or whatever you want to call it, that goes up, so you're going to receive more taxes on that. But it's still a good positive thing to see. Your overall revenue from last year went down by $26,000, which at a $3 million a year level, that's nothing. I mean, it's just going to be a timing issue or something. You did spend about $122,000 more than you spent last year, but as you can see on the statement of functional expenses, if you have it in front of you, the two major areas are program services. I mean, your sponsorship expenses and MITDC expenses. Those are what really you spend the money on, which is good. We don't want to see that going into general administrative expenses that don't provide the county with any benefits. You guys are really putting the money where it counts, as far as I can see. The other upside of all of this is on the balance sheet. Cash, that's where all your equity is. I mean, you still have $2.8 million in the bank at the end of 12/31/23, and you're super liquid. You literally can fund a lot of things for the county and make this place a better place to be. Sort of in conjunction, I think I said similar thing last year. If you can't find something to do in LaPorte County, you just aren't looking. There is something every week, and it's awesome. We choose to not go out and do stuff sometimes just because there's too much to do. So
Just we're tired.
Yeah, it's just great. I see people complaining on social media that there's nothing to do, and they're just not looking. They just want to complain. That's pretty much it for the audit report. Honestly, there's no new footnotes, no new accounting policies that affected you guys. I had another little letter there that we're required to give to the board, just saying that there's no difficulties that we have with management. The AJs, the journal entries that I explained earlier, just depreciation and fixed assets, that's just normal. Everything's running smoothly. So it's just a clean report. And
Jason,
you see that every year.
Am I correct, making sure the board understands that once you're done with this, once they receive it today, it goes forward to the state board?
Correct. Yeah. So once you guys approve it, we can send that down, or I'll send the PDF to Gail.
Applegate is one of the few companies that we were allowed to choose from back in 2006 to get out from under the State Board of Accounts audit. It took me about 2 seconds to sign that thing real quick, and it worked out really good. But State Board of Accounts still has full oversight over everything.
Yeah, they get the reports and approve them.
Yes.
All right. Great. With that, I'm looking for a motion from our board to approve the financial audit as presented by Applegate.
Second.
We have a motion by Becky Greenlaw and a second by Don Babcock. Any other discussions on our audit? Comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for that. And with that, that concludes our board report, unless anyone has anything in a general or broader nature that they want to comment on or make at this time. Don?
Just an announcement, not to conflict with our good mayors. On October 5th, the Purdue Northwest campus at Westville will be open for fireworks after the Westville Pumpkin Festival. So if you want to come by, and it's also going to have an alumni event there that night. But so if you want to see the free fireworks on the campus in celebration of the mayor's ball, come on by. So it's free.
What time does it start, Don?
I would probably about 6:37, whatever dusk is, but 8:15 or so, I think the fireworks are scheduled for that kind of thing.
All right, thank you. As I said, if you are not looking, you won't find anything you can, but if you're looking, you can find something to do in LaPorte County.
You guys do marketing too, Jason?
I'm trying.
Yeah, we
There'll be some food trucks there too.
Oh, okay. Okay, so with that, I will adjourn the meeting, and we will go right into our brunch, and followed by our board retreat. So thank you all.
You're right on time, Pat, good job. Jeez.